Here is a new video. This is just going to be a quick recap on some of the stuff that we've done already in class. So I'm going over adding fractions, subtracting fractions, multiplying, and dividing fractions. So you're going to need to get a sheet of paper. It can be a construction paper. And what I did to start off just to make this is I folded it in half, hamburger style. And then from there I folded my parts in. I wrote down my titles, and then I just went ahead and cut. So you're going to need a section for each one. Okay, so to get started, let's talk about adding fractions, adding and subtracting. Okay, so open up on adding, and I'm just going to give you a quick example, and we'll go from there. Okay, let's use 5, 6 over, or plus 2 over 3. And we're going to add those up. So right now we need to notice that there's a problem. We have 6 and 3, and those do not have the same denominator. So what we're going to have to do is use some of our strategies to find a common denominator. And so one of those things that we're going to use would be our what we would call your LCM. Okay, that's your least common multiple. And we're going to draw our M shape off to the side, and we're going to put our two denominators, so our 6 and our 3. Okay, now we need to list out our multiples. Okay, well, if I was to do 6 times 1, I would get 6. 6 times 2, 12. 6 times 3, 18. Okay, so on and so forth, but we really don't need to go very far because these actually do have a very common multiple. Then you would do your 3's, or your other side. So 3 times 1 is 3, 3 times 2 is 6, so you would just go in 3, 6, 9, all the way down. Now I noticed that I have some common multiples, which if I kept going over here, I'd actually get to 12. So you notice I have 6 is common, 12 is common. So what we did there was we listed our multiples, then our common, then our least is what we're going to do now. So we have 12 is common and 6 is common, but we need our least amount, which would be our 6. That's the lowest number. So we want to take both of our numbers and make sure 6 is going to be the common denominator. Okay, so I like to rewrite 5 over 6, 2 over 3, and I like to do this so I can go ahead and change those numbers up. So my 6 is going to be the common denominator now, and that's going to happen on both of those. So that's where it's going. And then I'm setting it up so that if I need to change it, I can. Now my 5 is going to stay the same because my 6 did not change. But over here with my 3, since it went to a 6, I have to ask myself, to get from 3 to 6, what did I have to multiply by? And you should say 3 times 2 would give you 6. So that means that 2 times 2 would give you 4. So what we're doing there is multiplying the top and the bottom by the same number. So now we have two brand new numbers. We have 5 over 6, actually just one brand new number, but 5 over 6 plus 4 over 6. So now I'm going to take 5 plus 4, this is my numerators, adding them up to get 9 over 6. So that is your new number. So if I was to rewrite that, it would look like 5 over 6 plus 4 over 6 is equal to 9 over 6. That is the equation, just rewritten. So my equation here is just rewritten down here with my new number. Okay? Now I have 9 over 6, and that is not simplified. So what I would do now is I'm going to use my GCF, my greatest common factor. So that's going to be, we're going to draw an F, we're going to write down our 6, write down our 9, and here's where you're going to list factors. That's the two numbers that are going to multiply to get this number. So 1 times 6 and 2 times 3. So 1 times 6 will give me 6, 2 times 3 gives me 6. Okay, 1 times 9, and I know 3 times 3. Okay, from here, since I've listed my factors, I need to find the ones that are common. Looks like 1 shows up and 3 shows up, but which one's the greatest? The greatest is 3. Okay, so that means I can take this number and divide by 3 on top and bottom. Again, whatever we do to the top, we're going to do to the bottom. Okay, so 9 divided by 3 gives me 3, and 6 divided by 3 gives me 2. So I now have 3 over 2, which is an improper fraction. You can leave this, or you can flip this into a mixed fraction, but I'm not going to show you that in this part.